What's up, travelers? How's everybody doing? Happy Sunday, and welcome to Means to Travel.
What's up?
Hope everybody's doing well and that you can hear us well. This is our first time live streaming from a different country. So who knows what could happen?
I don't know.
We don't know. So Derek's, oh God, that was loud, popping open a nice afternoon cider, and I'm drinking my green tea, sun tea that I made yesterday.
And I'm drinking my cider like a fancy boy.
I don't think you know what the word fancy boy means. But anyway, so we hopefully...
A boy who is fancy?
Yes, that's it. So... Sorry.
That's what I meant by it, at least. I didn't mean anything else.
Okay, moving on. I hope everybody's doing well. And so we're live from Portsmouth in the UK right now at our Airbnb. And we are on day 6 of quarantine.
It's getting real, guys. I don't know if you guys saw the story last night, but Eliz was like climbing out a window at one point in time. She's like, I'm missing out on things.
So climbing out a window is an extreme, but I was definitely peeking my head out of our window yesterday evening because I could hear the pubs.
Yes, the pubs.
A far distance away.
Sounding nice.
Yeah, because pubs are open here, and
currently,
it's definitely a little bit different to hear that kind of noise and everything. Just because we haven't been in a place that has had like open bars since March. Like in Chicago, you could go to a bar if it was outside.
Yeah, super social distance.
Maybe a month, and then they closed them again.
Yeah.
But anyway, just want to say hi to everybody who's on. So it looks like we have a really good crew. Hey, Mary Ellen. She was ready. She came early, and I was really delighted to see that.
Hey there.
And then Paul Tipton, hello. So I believe he's in the UK as well. So it's really fun to have him join now that we are broadcasting at a new time.
Yeah. And Paul, I don't know if you've ever had this, but this Thatcher's Gold Somerset cider is quite delicious. Highly recommend it.
It is. We've been enjoying it a lot more often than we thought that we would. We bought like a case of 12 cans in our Okada order, and we're pretty solidly getting through that because it's been so summery and nice here.
We have 3 left.
Yeah.
So we ordered 2 more cases to come on Tuesday with our new food delivery, so...
Yeah. Hello to Nick Peterson. Welcome Traveling with Nick P. And then Ann Gerber, I think this is your first time on, so welcome.
Ann, welcome. Thanks for joining.
And you're reminding me to take a minute and just thank anybody who's new, because we have been so blessed to have gotten a lot more subscribers on this channel over the past week. Some thanks to our buddy Mark Walters for cross-promoting us on his channel. And then also I think we've just been posting a lot more.
We certainly have. We're on day 6?
Day 6.
So this is our 6th content piece.
6 video in 6 days. So hopefully you found us probably through one of those ways or just saying hi. But it looks like we have a couple new faces as well. So just wanted to take that time to say thanks for joining.
Yep.
We're delighted to have everybody in this wonderful community of travelers. And here on these live streams, we typically just talk about our travel experiences and answer travel Q&A. So love to have everybody along for the ride. And then Derek's buddy Mo.
Mo, what's up, buddy?
Hello.
Cheers.
And yeah, cheers. Cheers with my tea. But cheers, Mo. We're in the UK now. We're getting closer to you. And just so everybody knows, we're not allowed to see anybody right now.
Yep.
So we're starved for communication with you guys. We're very excited to see everyone online. Aileen, welcome. Hello from Maine, she says. Awesome.
Cool.
I love Maine. I don't know where in Maine you are, but when I was in middle school, we used to go to South Freeport, Maine each summer. And then also went to Acadia National Park with my girlfriends, like 2017, I believe, was the last time I was there. So beautiful. So very, very eager to have you have your insights on Maine for next time we get to go too. And then Eric Brown, Travel Adventures with Eric B.
Eric B, what up,
The
bud?
Means team in the house. Eric's in the house. Welcome. And then Alan A. Hello, Dad. He says time for afternoon tea. It is, sort of. So
Or cider.
this is like a green tea that I brewed outside because the weather's been so nice.
It's a sun
and then
tea.
put it in the fridge. Yes, it's a sun tea brewing style. And then I put it in the fridge, and now I'm enjoying it today, and it's really refreshing.
Yeah.
Troy Stansel, welcome. He says, morning here and day to you folks in and from Europe. Yes, absolutely. It's fun. Like, we used to do our live streams on Thursday evenings, which we mostly just had the folks from North America join. Shout out to Mo and Paul for sometimes joining in the wee hours.
Super late,
But hopefully we can get a few more, like, countries represented at this time. So, fingers crossed on that one.
Yeah. And I mean, knock on wood, but it seems like the internet's holding up pretty decent. So this is delightful.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
Katie Smith, hey, she says, welcome to the UK. Hope you are settling in okay.
we are. I think. I don't know. Maybe.
I think so. So I don't know if y'all saw our video yesterday where we started kind of talking about our Airbnb a little bit.
And the quirks.
And the quirks.
They're fun.
Derek's made a friend in a neighborhood cat.
Oh, he's my buddy. Every time I have food, he wants to come hang out.
He's named the cat Buttercup, but I don't think that's the cat's real name.
I don't think that's the cat's real name
No.
either.
And Klaus, he says, welcome to Europe, and hello, everyone. Welcome to you, Klaus, to the live stream, and thank you so much. We're really excited to be here. Paul Tipton says, bars could be closing in October for 2 weeks, and yes, I have had Thatcher's Gold. Good stuff.
Nice. It goes down way too easy, so I'll have to slow down here in a second. I didn't realize how thirsty I was.
Do you want some refreshing green tea?
Little parched. But yeah, no, the bars, might be closing down, which would be a bummer.
Maybe that's why everybody was like
partying
so loud last night. They knew that this, the time's a ticking.
It would be our luck that everything would shut down just in time for us to get out of quarantine, but we'll
honestly,
see.
I don't know how much I would go into the bars. Like, I'd stand outside of a bar right now, but as we'll talk about in a little bit, case counts are increasing here in the UK. In fact, pretty much since we got here. Of course, it really wasn't that bad last week, but since we got here, the news has not been super great on that front, and we can get into that in a bit. Then Scorpio Sue, welcome. Thanks for joining at the new time. And then, let's see. Anyway, Thomas Reiser, to you as well. Welcome. Morning from the top of the Lower Peninsula of Michigan. That is great. I don't know if you're in like Traverse City or what, but that's got to be. I've been following your road trip on social media, and it looks fun.
Maybe he's at the very tip and he's at Mackinac.
Maybe he's at. Yeah.
Maybe he's like.
I think Mackinac
looking at
Island
the
is
bridge.
technically considered the UP, but I could be wrong. But yeah. And then Graham says, hey fellas, good to see you in this time zone. It's great to see you in this time zone.
And thank you again for all those awesome tips that you were sending me about places to go see and photographs. So thank you.
And thanks also to Graham for recommending Thatcher's cider to us months ago.
Oh.
Because...
Yeah, thank you. It's really, really tasty.
Because now we're drinking a lot of it. And then, I don't know what your name is, but JSVRT1.
Sherry Public Photos on Instagram, so I think that might be Sherry.
Sherry, welcome to you. Thanks for joining.
Yep, thanks for joining.
And Ronnie's on. Okay, so Ronnie, we're sorry that we went to the Dallas airport and stayed inside. So really, really appreciate you understanding that, and that we weren't really seeing anyone on our layover.
If the Finleys come in, same to them.
Yeah,
we're
going to have to catch them.
We weren't leaving the airport. It is actually kind of funny, though, because we were talking to one of the, not the gate agents, but one of the... So if you watch our travel day vlog, you saw that we got some special treatment where they picked us up in a little like go-kart thing and like took us to our gate transfer, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
And that lady was actually telling us about how, she's like, well, do you guys want to go to your gate or do you want me to take you to like an exit? A lot of people she knew had been like going off to go to a restaurant when they have long layovers in Texas. So instead of staying in the airport, a lot of people, I guess, have been leaving, going to like a restaurant that they like around the area, and then coming back for their flights. We don't know anything about any of the restaurants, and we just didn't want to risk it, so we just stayed around.
I think it was more about just limiting our exposure during transit.
And, the other thing is that, yes, limiting our exposure, the risk, etc. And then, like, once we got to the lounge, we were actually, like, super pleasantly surprised that, like, the lounge was super nice.
Yeah. We filmed a bit of it in our Overseas Travel Day vlog video that we posted. I think it was day 2 of quarantine, and a lot on Instagram as well. So there was so much, like the staff to lounge attendee ratio was like 1-to-1 basically. And people were cleaning constantly. They were social distancing us. So
yeah, it was really cool. I was really happy with how that kind of turned out. I was a little nervous because most of the time when I've flown pre-pandemic, the lounges can get pretty tight and crowded. So I was kind of wondering how they were going to do that. Was it going to be they're only going to let so many people in at a time or what have you? But there were so few people flying that they didn't have to limit anything. It was still like very, very like sparse.
Yeah,
it's nice.
And I think that's a factor of us being in the international terminal lounge as well.
Yeah,
so
that's probably true.
I think there's lounges in the domestic terminal, but there was just so few travelers traveling internationally that we had the place to ourselves.
Yeah, and one more thing is that while it was less crowded than usual, I will say that the Dallas airport was still fairly crowded. So if you're flying through Dallas, it's not like empty. It's not a ghost town. It's pretty busy. But the lounges were pretty empty.
Sorry for interrupting, but I was just going to say that's very different from Cincinnati Airport, which was completely not busy. So I think because Dallas is American Airlines International Headquarters hub, that's probably why it was a lot more crowded than Cincinnati.
Yeah. There's a... so all I was going to say was that, the lounge felt good from a social distancing standpoint, more so than the terminal. So, it was nice to get out. So
yeah.
All right, who else is here? So we've got...
Hey, Galvent and Gals. Welcome to you guys. Thanks for joining. And then
Mom and Dad are on. Yep. Hey, guys.
Your
Thank
mom
you for
and
joining.
Dad and my mom and dad are on. So we've got the parents.
We are loved. So
thank you guys for
guys.
Joining. So it's Eric and Darlene Zacarias. They say good morning from Lawrenceburg. Good afternoon from England. And my dad's saying, by the way, where did I read it? By the way, your Wi-Fi must be good. Quality of the live stream is excellent. Thank you for that feedback. We were hoping that would be the case.
Nice.
I ran a speed test probably a half hour ago, and it was looking positive. So, and then we have that new microphone that I mentioned on the last live stream, and we feel like it's doing us some good. We've been filming with it. And then we have it right now with the live stream. And then we also ordered on Amazon.co.uk a fancy schmancy ring light that's behind this computer.
That's why I look so glowing.
It costs like 16 pounds. So
Not that
it
bad.
was pretty affordable. And because all of the lighting equipment that we have back at home is just incredibly bulky, so we're hoping that this is going to be very travel friendly, so we can keep live streaming for you guys.
Yeah. And we do have a dead cat on our. No, sorry, that's a term.
That's a photography term.
It's a term for a fuzzy looking thing that goes on the microphone. And so I keep telling Eliz, I like pet it, and I'm like, it's kind of like a lucky rabbit's foot. Is kind of what it looks like a big one. It's kind of fun.
It is, but I don't like thinking about it.
Okay.
Anywho, but I'm glad to hear that everybody's experiencing this live stream pretty well.
Dead cat, aka not Buttercup.
No. We actually saw a different neighborhood cat today. Somebody else let their cat out apparently, and it's black and white. And so if we see that again, we'll see if Derek befriends that one too. That one seemed a lot less interested in Derek.
I wasn't here.
Oh.
I wasn't here when you saw it.
What do you mean not here? You're always here.
I was showering, I think.
Oh, showering. Okay. I was like, we're always in this house.
I made a run for it, guys. I made a runner. No,
like, we have not left.
no, I wasn't down here when it happened. I was somewhere
okay,
else.
I understand what you're saying now.
Okay, so Mo is saying he's going to send us a bunch of stuff about Northern Ireland. Unfortunately, a few of the places that he was going to send us are already or are going into lockdown. So
Fabulous.
hopefully by the time we get up there, they won't be. It's still quite a few weeks away. Maybe things will turn around after a little bit of shutdown. We'll see. We'll see. And that's one of the things that we're going to kind of talk to you guys about is what we're thinking about in terms of the potential lockdown and everything that's going to happen and whatnot. So.
Yeah. But we just wanted to say there's somebody else that joined, and I wanted
Scorpio
to say hello
Sue,
to them. Scorpio Sue.
Bonnie.
Oh, and Bonnie, that was it. Hi, Bonnie. Welcome, welcome. Thanks for joining. Again, everybody, thanks for joining at the new time. Really appreciate everybody who's on right now.
Okay, and then there's somebody who says UK was the weather nice. The weather is nice right now. I don't know what your name is. I can't read that. But yeah, no, the weather is actually very nice right now. It's supposed to make a little bit of a change early next week. It's supposed to start getting kind of rainy and a little bit colder.
Yeah.
Rainy and coldy. No, a little bit rainy and colder. And so we're taking advantage of it as we can. The beauty of the place is that, and I'm sure a lot of the UK is like this because of how much rain they get, the windows open kind of up like this. So they create a little bit of a roof, so you can keep them open even when it's raining a little bit, and you don't have to worry about water getting in, which is kind of nice. Especially in a place like this that doesn't have air conditioning, it only has heat. So even if it's raining, you can still keep it open, get a little bit of a fresh breeze, which is nice.
And it's also nice because you open it up and the cats can't just run right in. They would.
Yep.
But yeah, the weather when we first landed was I can really only speak in Fahrenheit. But I'll try to translate a little bit to Celsius based on what I know. But it was like upper 70s, 77 degrees when we first got to this Airbnb. And they don't have air conditioning really here. So it was a little bit warm.
It wasn't too bad though.
Yeah, I mean, it was manageable. But like the first night sleeping, for example, it was still pretty warm outside. So we just really could have used some breeze. But we're like, all right, well, if that's, day one of 3 months, I think we'll manage.
Yeah.
And then it got slightly cooler, just really pleasant here. And yeah, I think it drizzled for a minute this morning, and that's about it. But I even ended up having to water some of the plants in the backyard because it hadn't rained in so long, and they were starting to look thirsty. So we've been very, very lucky with this weather.
Yep. Okay, so
Thomas was saying he was close to, I think it was the 45th parallel.
Yep.
Up in Michigan.
Which is halfway between the North Pole and the equator.
Very cool.
Okay.
Well, you're halfway there. No, I'm assuming you're not driving to the North Pole.
Okay. A lot of hellos for gallivanting gals.
Thomas said catching on to slang. I don't know, did we use any
Dead
British
cat.
slang yet?
No, I think it's dead cat.
Yeah.
Mary Ellen, thank you very much for setting the reminder so you didn't miss the live stream. We really appreciate it. Okay, so Thomas Reiser was asked by Eric B. how many miles he had logged so far on his road trip, and the answer was close to 400. So that's pretty good. That's a lot of. That's nice.
That's terrific.
And then Galvin Gallows, I have to say we are super happy for you all, but sad that we weren't able to do the same thing. We're sad that you guys couldn't come either. But health is, more important, and making sure that you guys are taking care of yourselves.
And we're very aware that we have, circumstances that not everybody has that allowed us to do this. And we kind of set ourselves up in order to be able to have this extended stay within the UK this fall.
Yep.
And we just want everybody who, is interested in this story to just live vicariously through us if that's not something you can do as well. We're happy to tell everybody how we did it if they want to know and want to do the same. but we're also happy to have everybody along for the ride.
Yep. Thomas Reiser is saying that the slang was quid.
Yes.
Yes, for pound.
So
Yes.
quid is like saying like
A
16
pound.
bucks
16
instead
bucks.
of $16.
Okay, all right, so now we've got some questions. The first one is from Scorpio Sue, which says, what's the first thing you're going to do once quarantine is done? So the first thing that we're probably going to do when quarantine is done is
Walk around the
go
neighborhood.
for a walk.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, that's a boring answer, but we're going to go for a walk, which is going to be super nice, and go check out Portsmouth, because, we haven't been able to explore it at all, and we're about a 20-25 minute walk, I think, to, like, the ocean or whatever. So we're going to go do that, take a nice long walk, explore the town, explore Portsmouth. But then it kind of depends on what happens with the lockdown and how strict the lockdown becomes, and if it gets put into effect everywhere, or if it's more of a in certain locations thing. I think last we checked, it's looking like it's probably going to be, at least in England, wide lockdown is kind of what they were talking about. Although it's kind of shifted over the last couple of days on them talking about, will they do something similar to what some of the local authorities have done in, like, say, northeast England, where they limit hours, where they don't shut down the pubs entirely, but they limit it to, shut down by 10 p.m., which, honestly, for me, I go to sleep early, so that's not that big of a deal to me. Or is it...
Well, we're struggling with the jet lag a little bit.
Yeah, but we're getting
that's
better.
A little bit our fault, because we wanted to say hi to Mark and Jocelyn on their live stream and Gallivanting Gals on their live stream. So
we had a few live streams at like 2, 3 in the morning for us. But,
which were with Mark and Jocelyn's, because it was like the second day we were here. I still was not adjusted, and I just stayed up.
No.
And that was a killer.
No, she was like laying in bed like...
like I cannot sleep.
Their live stream's in like an hour. I might as well just stay awake. I'm like, okay. If you say so, let's do it. Cool. So it kind of depends on what happens, but, to the extent that we can travel around and we can go to, like, London, for instance, we would plan to try to make it to London. However, it does look like they might introduce something where, like, households can't mix, which would mean that one of our big things that we're going to do is stay with some friends of ours over there, which would then kind of nix that idea.
Yep.
So we'd then have to look at, okay, what hotels are available, etc., so we can still go up there.
We should add that as of right now in England, you're not allowed to technically be in groups of 6 or more people. But there's been so much change over the past 5 days that we've been in this country. In terms of COVID restrictions and rules and that sort of thing, and we're rule followers, so we're
a bit of a rebel.
I don't know about that. We're definitely rule followers when it comes to COVID, so we just want to make sure that we're in a position that we can be flexible with all of that.
Yeah. So all that said is all of our plans are still kind of up in the air, kind of depending on where the government comes out on the lockdown. So we'll have to see.
But we'd like, after Portsmouth, in a perfect world, to go up to Scotland in mid-October.
Yeah, so I guess the way to say it would be what's our plan? What's our first thing that we want to do post this accommodation? So post southern England would be Scotland. And last night we started looking into, in a little bit more detail, the North Coast 500, so the NC 500, just because we've already done more like the lower Highlands type road trip, and so to do something a little bit different, that'd be pretty cool to kind of go and do like that northernmost route. But again, it kind of depends on what Scotland does with lockdown and whether or not those things are open. Again, we always want to be conscientious travelers. We don't want to go to a place that doesn't want us there, because they're trying to, clamp down on this disease. So
yeah. Thanks, Mary Ellen, for setting a reminder, by the way, so you didn't miss our live stream. Appreciate that. And also wanted to add...
And she's allergic.
And she's allergic to cats, too, so we're soul sisters. But I don't mind cats. I used to not be allergic until I was around 24 years old. And then I took an allergy test for something completely separate where they test you for a bunch of stuff. And they were like, you are 7 out of 10. Like, basically, like, very, very high percentage allergic to cats. And I was like, no way. No. And then next time I went to a place that actually had a cat, because I hadn't been in one for years prior to that allergy test. Man, was I allergic. So it can come on whenever, at any point.
Yep.
Anyway, so just that was a side story. I also wanted to say thanks to everybody who's already liked this live stream as well on YouTube. It definitely tells YouTube that this is a fun place to hang out and that we're fun people with cool things to say. So
I wouldn't go that far.
tells YouTube that. But yeah, press that like button and subscribe if you haven't too, because we're really hoping to build a great community on this channel.
Yeah. And Scorpio Sue, thank you so much for plugging our Instagram accounts and our Instagram stories. Yeah, we do try to put things out there daily in our story, and also I'm trying to post daily now to my feed with pictures.
You can kind of get a glimpse of our quarantine cooking on Instagram that we're probably not going to be posting too much about on YouTube. But we did that huge Ocado grocery haul video this week. And so you can see a lot of the recipes that we're doing.
So like one of my cousins reacted to that, and he's like, man, that's a lot of eggs. And we've already gone through like 2 dozen of those eggs, 2 of the 3, so we eat a lot of eggs.
I guess we eat a lot of eggs. I don't know.
2 to 3 per person at breakfast. I mean, what can I do?
And we also had 2 that were broken too when they arrived.
And yeah, we lost 2. Okay, so
but I think we had a couple questions come in. Gallivanting Gals had great questions, but I just want to answer Graham's real quick because it has to do with food too. So he says, as you're under house arrest for a couple of weeks and so rely on food delivery, which you have to set up a week in advance. We actually set it up a week and a half in advance. Is there anything that you forgot which you've had to do without?
The chia seeds?
Yes, that's what I was going to say. So I know that this is a
bougie
weird
thing to
answer.
say.
I don't know about bougie. Like, chia seeds are good for you.
I thought they were fancy.
But anyway, so I make this overnight oats recipe. Darlene is like, loves it. And we had all of the ingredients for the overnight oats recipe and then forgot the chia seeds, which is kind of like if you put chia seeds in like a milky substance overnight, it kind of becomes like really thicker. And so it's just a huge component of the oats recipe. So we've ordered that for next week.
Yeah, but no, there wasn't anything that was like a massive miss that I can think of. No, I think that's the only one that comes to mind.
That's the only thing that we've like definitely been like, oh shoot,
I mean, there's things that were like, wow,
that.
I didn't realize we ordered that much chicken.
Yeah.
We ordered a lot of chicken, so many spices. I didn't realize how many spices we had ordered until they got there. Little things like that.
I think a lot of you guys know the backstory to that. There was a deal.
What Eliz claims, I didn't see anything.
There was a deal on spices, and so I had to get a lot of them. Oh, and then another thing is we use a Himalayan sea salt grinder, and they gave us the wrong thing. So
but we're using it.
We're not even complaining. Like I don't care that much. But they gave us a Himalayan sea salt / red pepper.
Actually, it was pink peppercorns.
Or pink pepper.
I don't know what a pink peppercorn
which is a very different thing than if you just wanted salt. So
still goes good on avocado toast, which is what we've done. Yeah, it's really nice. I've been poaching some eggs. I've been, we do eggs every way, so.
Yeah. Oh, that's another thing too. Is and I've been messaging with Graham about this. So to do poached eggs, it's easier if you have a little bit of vinegar, and then also for like cleaning. Sometimes we like to clean like electric tea kettles with vinegar and stuff. And usually it's like distilled white vinegar, but we didn't order any of that, and they don't really seem to have that here. They have malt vinegar.
I only saw it in like 5 liter.
Yeah,
like
which
a 5
is
liter thing. I'm like, we're not buying
which is
that
crazy.
much vinegar. That's kind of crazy.
So maybe once we're out of quarantine, we can do a little scavenge around and see if they, actual grocery stores sell it
Yeah.
in smaller versions. But I was messaging with Graham, and apparently just distilled white vinegar is not as common.
Yeah. All right. So Galvan Gal said, "Was your check-in contactless?" No, it was supposed to be, but we happened to overlap with the host was like washing some windows, so he was here and he actually showed us around the place and whatnot, which was fine. We were kind of socially distant while we did it, but he just showed us around, like how things worked, like the heater and stuff. He's like, you probably won't need to use this at all, but if you did, just hit this button, whatever. So that was really it. And he was a really nice guy, so that was pretty simple.
And we brought a ton of Clorox wipes in a big plastic bag. Like basically, we took all of the Clorox wipes out of the canister and put them into a plastic baggie, so that way it's more travel friendly.
Ziplocs. Yep.
Yeah, zipped it up and took it with us, so we had a lot to wipe down all of the surfaces.
Yeah. I mean, but given that we were on 2 flights plus in a lounge, we used a lot of that. I mean, we used quite a few, just like wiping things down as we went on the travel day. So
yeah,
that was definitely a good thing to do.
Yep. And I'm assuming she was asking about the Airbnb being
contactless.
Check-in was contactless. But what was also interesting to be contactless was the entry into the country. Like when we landed, I forgot this about. Yeah, I forgot this that in normal times, in recent years in the UK, you have like a what is it called? Biometric scan at the UK border if you're an American, so that way you don't have to talk to customs agents and everything. I completely forgot. And then we get there, and I was completely assuming that wouldn't be the case anymore because they would probably like want to talk to people, but they still let us do the biometric scan. So
well, I would see them not wanting to talk to people because they don't want to put their border control agents at risk.
Yeah.
But it was super easy and quick and painless, which was really nice. And Galvin and Gal says that the first thing they would do is go to a pub if it's open. And that actually gets to what our first meal is going to be outside of the house. We've already agreed. It's going to be fish and chips as long as there's a chippy open. We're going to go get some, and
there's
it's going to be delicious.
Supposed to be a really good fish and chips place closer to the beach here than this house is.
That sounds fun.
So that'd be cool to just like a chippy place, not a pub, but a place.
Like go in, they make fish and chips. That's all they do.
You can choose between different kinds of fish. That's when you know it's legit.
Yeah, grab it, go out to like the pier. Delicious.
Yeah.
That's our first meal. Okay, so
Paul Tippin. I can imagine day 14 standing by the door counting seconds. Yeah, I can too.
Yeah, you want to see her last night?
Yeah, you can show that. Thomas Reiser says, don't miss Isle of Wight. That's definitely on the list. As long as...
Yeah, so that was Eliz last night, like with her like head out the window, like, there's music!
There's people!
So,
yeah.
Yeah, day 14.
Guilty. And then, but what I wanted to say about Isle of Wight is we are kind of monitoring it because all the other Channel Islands don't let people from the mainland.
But it's not a Channel Island.
Right.
Yep.
All the other Channel Islands don't let the people from the mainland go there, to our knowledge, and so the Isle of Wight is the exception, and it's a lot closer, obviously, but it's still a ferry. You have to take a ferry to go there. Okay. So I'm curious if that's going to change or not. We'll see.
Yep. My dad says fall has arrived. Very cool. 40 this morning, 72 this afternoon. Wow.
That is a big temperature jump.
Yeah. Eric B, I would ask you to watch my live stream on Friday, but it'll be like 3 a.m. there.
Yeah, we do need to start
we
adjusting.
Need to start sleeping full nights.
This coming week is going to be hopefully a little bit more like a normal time frame for us. We also, I think, because we wanted to, but also promised to do 14 videos in 14 days, we just kind of felt like constantly tired all of this week. At least I did. Probably more me because I do all the video editing and posting.
I'm just over here like, whoosh, get to work.
Yeah. I'm like, I'm so tired.
Come on. It's not that bad.
I'm like, please help me.
I make her meals.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm the cook.
No,
I'm cleaning.
we're like kind of joking, but it is a little bit true that I've been really, really tired, and then working really hard. But Derek has been doing all of the cooking and the washing up, which is like dishwashing.
I also do the thumbnails, and then she redoes them because she wants them to be different. So, I mean, I'm trying. I'm doing what I can.
Derek has made some thumbnails. None of them have been published.
None of them have been published. I'm always like, oh, yours looks better.
You keep getting better and better.
Okay, one of these days it'll make it through.
Graham saying, how have you found the British produce? Is there anything you miss or strange taste that surprised you? We haven't really ordered anything that's super different. Ask us that question in a month or so.
But there is a video that we're thinking about putting out, which is just going to be a super short one about like differences in food. Where we'll probably talk about things like food names, like courgette is zucchini. Aubergine is eggplant, like little things like that where I'm like, what's that? Oh, okay, yes, no, I love that. So we'll probably do some of that stuff and whatnot, which will be fine. But no, I haven't found anything that tastes very different. The biggest thing for us is coffee. We love coffee. We drink a lot of it. And, we've been doing instant coffee now for the last almost week. Which is fine.
It sounds like it's very normal situation here, which instant coffee in the U.S. is, it's pretty rare.
Henrietta, welcome. How are you?
Welcome, Henrietta. Oh, great. She's been following Means to Travel for quite some time, and she's based in the UK, so I'm super glad.
Yeah, thanks for joining us. And she says that the Isle of Wight is a must, and her daughter is holidaying there right now. That's awesome. Yeah, we're really excited to go there.
Your daughter will have to give us restaurant tips and stuff if she finds places that she likes. So I also just wanted to add to the food thing. We haven't had too many differences, but one thing that a fellow American who is also living in London messaged me on Instagram and reminded me is that for some reason, we're not sure why yet, but food kind of goes bad more quickly here, breads and produce and stuff. And so thank goodness for her, because then we started checking the expiration dates that were on everything, and we're like, okay, we have to put this into the freezer and this into the freezer.
We froze a ton of stuff.
We refrigerated some of the bread to help extend it, that we ordered to help extend its life, because I think it expired like 3 days after we got it. So anyway, it was really helpful to receive that note and helped us meal plan a little bit as well.
Yeah. So Galvan and Gal says NC 500 will be awesome as long as weather is good. On our list for late spring, early summer next year. Yeah, we started looking into it a little bit more, like I said last night, and it does look pretty cool.
Yeah.
It looks pretty spectacular. So, it kind of depends on a lot of things, but that would be kind of my vote. I think you can do it in 5 days if you really push it. 7 to 10 is a little bit more preferable, and we have some time, and if a lot of things in the bigger cities are shut down, but some of the stuff more rurally is open, that might be a good option.
We'll see though, because by the time we get there, it's going to be very cold.
It'll be colder, but
it'll be very cold.
But you can still do it up until like November.
Again, it'll be very cold, so
everything's gonna be cold.
We'll see.
Derek
and I have a little bit of differing opinions on what we want to do too, because he definitely wants to do things that are like way more rugged than I do.
Rugged, pretty pictures. I'm all about the pretty pictures.
But you want to like climb all these mountains and stuff. I'm like, I don't know about that.
We'll see. We'll start off with the small mountains.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll see. Yep, Katie Smith agrees, and it would be beautiful. There we go.
It does look really pretty from all the content.
Paul Tipton
I've seen
says he
on
votes
YouTube.
for the NC 500 too. Hey guys, let's take a poll. Everybody wants to do the NC 500. Say yes, and then we have to.
Can we go back in time a few months and do it then?
Oh yeah, that'd be great.
Because doing that in like the end of October just sounds really cold, and I don't know if we brought the right gear for that.
There's stores.
There's
We got
stores.
this. We got this. We actually, so we just
Send us
ordered.
super chats. No, just kidding.
No,
Totally kidding.
So we actually we just bought some shoes, some like Merrell hiking shoes that should be getting in here middle of next week, and that's gonna be pretty cool because that's gonna allow us to go on like the walks and the hikes and stuff when it gets a little bit wetter out. But yeah, they're kind of cool because they look a little bit like sneakers, but they are for like trail hiking and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, that'll be cool.
Yeah.
So we've already ordered some stuff that we didn't have, and that'll be fun.
I just saw that your dad said that your mom is eating her overnight oats right now. So
Nice. That's awesome. And I see Nick is saying that he's not planning anything international right now, at least not until things blow over, because he doesn't want to get his hopes up. We definitely understand that.
Yeah.
Scorpio Sue says that she loves grocery haul videos because she's a foodie.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, ours was a little bit less typical probably because it wasn't like, and this is how much we spent on everything. Because I feel like that's how a lot of grocery haul videos go. It's like, you know, how I went to Costco and meal planned for a family of 10 for like $2.
I noticed when I was doing research for the subject, what is it called? The title of the video, that a lot of the other Ocado grocery haul videos on YouTube also include meal plans. So sorry if I disappointed the masses on not having a meal plan included on ours. But
Yeah.
we've been actually logging what we've eat each day, and kind of meal planned it out, but we definitely can, like, in retrospect, provide that information about how it.
Yeah, we bought a bunch of stuff and we're like, yeah, that'll be a meal.
The only thing we've had to throw out so far is one avocado that had already gone bad.
Yeah, and those were like, we bought the ready to eat ones and they were like ready to eat. Like, eat this
ready.
now. We waited a couple days. Okay. Katie, thank you very much for enjoying our Insta updates.
Thank
We really
you.
appreciate that. And Mary Ellen is saying that chia seeds are good for you, not fancy.
Yes.
Okay, fine. Okay, Mo is telling us that we need to get a national trust membership. Every site is free entry, including parking, for all of the UK. For people living in the US, I think you have to join the Royal Oak Foundation.
Oh, that's good to
Huh.
know. We're gonna
We'll have
ask
to
you more
look into
about that
that. Yeah.
offline, because we were kind of trying to figure out if we needed a parks pass or something in order to get to
What
some
the
of the
equivalent was.
outdoors places.
Yeah, so we're definitely going to do that. Galvin and Gal saying that they joined something. And Klaus says, have you given up on the idea of going outside UK? Borders seem to be closing in Europe right now.
So we as Americans are
Just not
currently
allowed.
not welcome in Europe, in the EU.
Except for Croatia. That's the one place we can go to.
Yes, we can go to Croatia. We can go to Turkey. However, we are hesitant to go to those places just because in case we got sick, we don't speak the language to communicate with healthcare professionals. We would maybe start considering it if it needed to get to like a plan C or D or something like that.
Yep.
But as of right now, we're staying here.
Yeah, I think Turkey at the moment is like plan E. If the UK gets bad and like goes into like a major lockdown for a little bit, and we're looking as a way that we're not ready to go back to the US, but we want to go somewhere else, that might be an option, depending on how things look there. But we don't know.
Yeah. But we would have considered some places that we're more familiar with already in Europe to go to, like France or Germany or something like that, if it was possible. But unfortunately, our citizenship status prevents that currently.
Yeah.
I hope it changes, but we're not going to get our hopes up on that.
Katie, thank you for joining us, and hopefully you have a wonderful walk.
Thanks, Katie. Enjoy your walk. Happy Sunday.
So, Troy is saying, I noticed in your grocery vid there is no black pudding. Is there anything UK food-wise y'all got, excluding alcohol? Mainly
That's a
alcohol.
good question. I mean, we got a lot of tea.
Oh, we did get we got pork sausage. It's like the
Yeah.
British like bangers type stuff.
Yeah. You know, we didn't, and I think it's because we like when other people prepare stuff for us with British recipes and everything, and so we're kind of looking forward to coming out of quarantine and like doing the fish and chips, probably getting a shepherd's pie at some point.
Oh heck yeah, shepherd's
Probably.
pie.
Yeah. I don't know. We looked at bacon for a hot second and then took it out of the cart because you like.
I like American bacon.
Yeah.
I don't like Canadian bacon, which is what it felt like the bacon was going to be that we were looking at. So yeah, nah, not so much. Like if I want ham, I'll buy ham.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, Bonnie. No offense.
I'm sure. Sorry, Paul too. I bet he likes.
Paul.
I bet he likes the other kind of bacon as well.
Yeah, I don't know. So, I mean, we bought like eggs. We bought like just like food, right? I mean, I wouldn't say, but we didn't buy anything that was like British anything. Like we weren't gonna get like a ready-made like sticky toffee pudding because we want to go have like awesome sticky toffee pudding. So we're we're holding off on the UK foods until we can go like truly enjoy it. So. Tyler Hansen, welcome, bud. Hey, you're a beautiful person.
I just wanted to add, since we ordered from Marks and Spencer's, they gave us like a free candy.
Yeah.
British candy. So we have Galaxy chocolate and we have Percy Pig like gummy things. So we have not opened those at all yet. But if anybody likes those things, give us a shout and tell us what they're like.
So Paul Tipton is telling us that we need to get the Meerkat app so we can get discounts on day trips and 2-for-1 meals.
Oh, nice. We should write that down.
Downloading it now.
That is a really good tip. Thank you, Paul. And then Mary Ellen says, I was supposed to be there in June and it was postponed till 2021. We'll see what happens. Yeah, everybody's trips got postponed this year and it's such a sad thing. We're just really glad that we were able to do this kind of like extended. We're basically living here for 3 months while other people live in our house in Chicago. So yeah. And then Mary Ellen says in Connecticut fall is there as well, only getting to 63 in Connecticut today. That is definitely fall weather, or autumn, as I hear that is more commonly said here. Actually, that's a question I'm gonna ask Graham and Paul and Mo and everyone and Henrietta. I was told that Brits don't really use the word fall that often. It's usually just autumn. But tell me if that's wrong. Because we just want to be cool. We don't want them to be like, you don't know. What else?
So Mary Ellen is saying, yeah, it's fall here. It's
That's
only
what I just
63 in Connecticut. Okay.
And then Galvanting gals are talking to Klaus. What are we missing here?
So Galvanting gals, yep, still talking. Okay, so I'm sure
Thomas says we need to make sure to ride Island Line, which I assume is to the Isle of Wight.
Cool.
All right. We'll definitely do that then. And then, hey, Karen Mack.
Hey.
Welcome. Karen's been so sweet. I think she's following along on Instagram as well, if I'm remembering correctly. Yeah, Mary Ellen says she's heard great things about Merrell's. We haven't really used Merrell before. Both of our hiking shoes are Keens, but they were so big that we decided not to pack them on this trip and just buy new ones because we wanted, like, the ones that we have back at home are like hiking boots. We use them for like hiking in the Rocky Mountains and stuff. And so we wanted a daytime tennis shoe and a hiking boot that has really good soles. So we'll give you guys an overview of what those look like when we get them.
What we liked about them, though, just as a heads up, is that we like that we could use them just to walk around a city because they kind of look like gym shoes, or for a more rugged, like outdoor, wet and muddy type of experience. So
they're waterproof.
Yep. All right, so Magnificent Germany with Darian.
Hi, Darian, and happy belated birthday.
Yeah,
Thanks for joining.
howdy. Welcome, bud. Good to see you. Okay.
There was
Threw a
big
lot
jump,
of
sorry.
hellos.
And then Mary Ellen says, "Oh, the Ocado haul video is great. I think you included a lot of things people might forget important in these times." Well, what was important to me when making that video, and thank you so much for saying that, is there's a difference between what you need to order if you're just ordering your groceries for the week and what you would need to order, like, if you're going into quarantine, I feel.
Well,
so,
if you're stocking the kitchen from, like, scratch.
Yeah, and that too.
Like, we bought some Tupperware.
That's almost like separately, yeah. And so, like, we bought Tupperware, we bought so many spices, which it's like we've moved, across the country before, so we've kind of had to do that before in the past as well, where you get rid of all your food and then you have to buy all new food once you get there because of spoilage. So, it is what it is with having to just buy a lot of stuff, but we've decided that it's probably going to be fine because we'll, like, amortize it throughout the whole trip. And
fancy finance word right there.
I know. Look at me. And that way that like cost per use is just going to extend throughout the whole trip. It's not like that first 2 weeks only.
All right, so Galvin and Gals is telling us that we can buy our type of bacon here, and they call it streaky bacon.
Yes.
Which I did not know.
Oh, I think Graham messaged me about that. Somebody definitely messaged me about streaky bacon.
Nice. Well, I like streaky bacon, so maybe we should try that. Okay, so Mo is telling us that he went straight to the restaurant last night after his long hike, and he got, wait for it, sticky toffee pudding. Awesome.
Nice.
Well, you deserved it. You climbed the highest mountain in Northern Ireland.
Yes, you did.
Don't know how high that is, but I think that you said it was like 3 hours up, 2 down.
It looked really pretty.
It's pretty cool. What. Hopefully, whoever needed that like medevac thing is okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that's awesome. You earned it.
I've been loving following Mo on social media because he's doing so many cool adventures.
So, stop moving it.
What do you want me to
something. Scorpio Sue is saying something about watching Travel Beans older videos.
Yeah.
Who's Travel Beans?
It's another channel.
We gotta check out Travel Beans. Mm-hmm. That's a fun name. I like that name.
And Paul Tipton says we must try Marmite. Maybe.
Isn't that like the Australian thing? Like
no,
that's
like
Vegemite?
Vegemite. No, Marmite's kind of similar though. I think I've tried it when I studied abroad in London.
I mean,
but I might have blocked it from my memory a little bit. It's kind of like a more savory jam.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe. I don't know if I'm willing to like buy a whole thing of it though.
I know, it's like, can someone just bring over a sample?
Now a hazelnut.
Put it through our mail slot.
Maybe a hazelnut chocolatey spread. I would try.
Nutella.
That'd be good. Yeah. So I don't know what flake bars are, but according to Scorpio Sue, flake bars are my absolute favorite. And second is a Lion bar. I don't know what either of those are.
Are those candy, Scorpio Sue?
Or maybe they are types of bars. I don't know. Cool. Okay, so what do we got?
And then Paul answered my question. He said, autumn. Fall is not used, but we know what it is. That's what I was told before, and so I've been really conscious to not say fall too much.
Yeah. So, Eric B says, when I was there, I ordered a sandwich with bacon. I saw the bacon, and I was like, what is this? Yeah, it's a little different.
I'm sorry if it's still buffering for anybody. It seems like it's kind of for some people and not for others. But hang in there. We're still here. Hopefully it stops buffering soon if it still is. And then Mary Ellen says it just cut out for her.
Yeah, I think that, if it's cutting out on anybody, you probably can't hear me, but just exit out and go back in. Yeah, it should work.
Press refresh, hopefully.
Yeah.
Because I wonder what this says. Yeah, it still says we have an excellent connection.
However, it does show that it's like doing the buffer thing there.
Isn't it?
But it's working now. I just closed out and went back in.
Yeah. All right. Well, hopefully it is working for everybody.
Yep.
Fingers crossed.
Hopefully. And thank you for everybody who stayed with us.
Yes. Thanks, everybody still on. We're here.
Ah.
And we're happy to have you guys here, too.
Yep. So, so Kim is saying that she's... Hello, Kim! Kim is saying that she's loving the UK
Kim.
isolation videos, traveling vicariously through us. So thank you for tuning in. We really appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
This takes the place of our day
Kim,
6 video.
Yeah. I think Kim is new into this channel and into this community as well, so welcome to you. And we're really pleased. We've had a lot of new subscribers lately, so if anyone else is on who is new, we do these live streams once a week. We used to do them Thursdays, and now we're going to be doing them Sundays while we're in the UK, in hopes that it's a good time here and a good time over in North America, just to kind of keep these conversations going.
Yep. And also, I just saw somebody else that wanted to...
And yeah, Sue, we are getting closer and closer to 1,000, so hopefully the channel can monetize after that. We'll
80
see.
something away, I think. 86 or 87.
Yeah. Tell your friends.
Exactly.
And then
so
Eric's saying it's not
travel
working
beans.
at all on his phone. Oh gosh, I'm so sorry, but he can see on his TV.
Huh, interesting.
Man, I'm so sorry, guys, for having technical difficulties. For us over here, it's doing okay.
Ah, Gareth, welcome.
Gareth,
doing,
welcome
Gareth?
to you. Yeah, so Gareth is in Wales, and we're really pleased to have you on.
We're hoping to get to Wales.
Visiting his Mamgu.
Mamgu, Welsh for granny. That's fun.
That's it. That is fun.
That's nice. So I hope she's doing well. And hopefully everything in Wales is going well. We definitely do want to get to the Welsh like countryside and everything. I've never been to Cardiff. I've also never been to Swansea. I've only been to the north of Wales.
And I believe Gareth's in Cardiff.
So we definitely want to get out there and see it because I hear great things. There's cool castles in like Cardiff. You know, it's a real city and whatnot. So that would be really cool.
Yeah. And so I've been to Cardiff and I've been to Swansea, and I was saying it might be a cool place to be on Halloween this year because we haven't really planned that out yet. And I distinctly remember when I visited my friend who was studying at the University of Swansea when I was studying abroad in London. We would just go out and there would be people on non-Halloween nights at the bars dressed up in costume, or I believe they call it fancy dress here in the UK. And so I would imagine on Halloween it's like extra level of fancy dress. So I think that'd be kind of cool, but Gareth, let me know if I'm like not remembering that right at all. Anywho, so if there's any other places that you guys think that we should be on Halloween, let us know. And then we also are...
Did it just go out?
I don't think so.
No, it's like stopped.
Oh gosh. Well, I hope that you guys can
still
still hear me. Can you guys still hear us, by the way, and see us? Derek's getting a weird notification about all of this. Okay. So it says, yeah, a lot of people had to drop. Ugh, that's so annoying. If you...
Oh, they're saying we're fine.
Thomas and Sue say that we're fine.
All right, I'm trying it again.
Hopefully everything is working for everybody. But it looks like maybe a few people...
Must have just been my phone. I don't know.
Had to drop off. You had frozen and had to reset. Okay, so hopefully you all can hear us. It sounds like there's a little bit of freezing happening. If there is, please just press refresh if you see if that works too, because I've found that sometimes it just needs a little bit of a reset, and then we're back.
Alrighty. Sorry about that, guys.
Anyway, so we were asking for tips on if there's anywhere in the UK that we should maybe think about being for Halloween. Our anniversary is November 11th.
Yep.
So if there's like kind of a more romantic spot for us to be around that time, let us know. And then we're likely going to still be here at American Thanksgiving. So that's at the end of November. So if there's like a cool spot to be for that too, it'd be interesting to hear.
We should climb Ben Nevis on our anniversary.
No, that's crazy.
I'm joking. I'm only kidding.
Please no.
I like being married. I'm not going to do that.
Oh, your mom says the feed was out for a few seconds, but it's great now. Okay,
Very cool.
well, hopefully it stays that way. Knock on
Awesome.
wood.
So,
And hey, Eric Brown from your phone.
Yeah, hello. So, what did we want to talk about? Well, we've kind of caught up on things.
Well, hopefully people have some ideas of where we should go for those holidays. But I think we can. Do you want to just talk a little bit more about our daily life in quarantine?
I mean, right now we've really been focusing on trying to get our sleep schedule back on order. That was kind of like the whole first week was just, if you think that you can kind of change your schedule 1 to 2 hours a day, we thought it would take 5 to 6 days to kind of get back to a normal schedule. Today we're up at like 9-ish, and that felt fine. We were probably asleep at a reasonable hour last night, which was good. It's just trying to get back to, a normal swing of things. I want to get up, so I'm up with the sunrise every morning, which is always my goal whenever we're out and about. Because when we can finally leave this place, I want to be able to go and like film and record the sunrise every day, basically.
He's a big sunrise photographer. For those who have been longtime followers on his Instagram, he has not been. You've been not. I can't speak. You have not been doing that, like since COVID started, really though.
No, because I haven't shot since COVID.
Would you say that? Because you did that in Amsterdam, and I think that was the last time you did that.
Yeah, the last time.
In March.
Definitely. Was when we were in Amsterdam. But since Amsterdam, I haven't shot anything. I haven't done any photography really. I've only really gone and done, old edits basically. I've gone back to last year and the year before.
Thanks, gals, for joining. We really appreciate having you on. And to answer Nick P's question, Traveling with Nick P asks, is the UK government doing checks on you in quarantine? So far,
not yet.
No. And there's always the chance of them doing it, but it's funny because last night around 9 p.m. we thought we heard a loud knock on our front door, and we were like, this is the right time for them to be checking on us. And we were like, this is it. This is when they're doing it. Like making sure that it's Saturday at 9 p.m. We're quarantining. We're at our house because that would probably be the most likely time that we wouldn't be, if we were rule breakers.
Yeah.
And then we went to the door and there was nobody there.
Yeah.
So we might have had a ghost check in on us.
Well, there was another time when a bunch of police showed up at a house like kind of across the street and a couple houses down, and I was kind of like, do you think they think they're checking in on us?
Oh,
like, what is this? Like, that was another one where I was like,
we took a picture of the police and of the police car.
Just in case
they, say, we checked on you and you weren't here. And we'd be like, no, we saw you. But
yeah,
so far that was not the case either.
Yeah. Oh, Paul Tipton says he would suggest York in Yorkshire. And maybe Edinburgh?
For Halloween. Cool.
Yeah, cool.
Right now, I believe Yorkshire, at least it's West Yorkshire, is having some COVID lockdowns.
Yeah. Hopefully
by then it will be different. But we'll start looking into that.
Yeah, definitely.
Gareth says maybe Whitby would be good for Halloween, as it's the home of Dracula in England, and there's a goth festival there yearly.
Wow, that's fun.
Well, we are certainly not goth people, but I would definitely go watch all of that go down. Although
doing it.
Festivals, do those still happen in 2020? We don't
know.
But I'm sure there'll still be people dressed up.
Yeah.
Traveling with Nick P says, I loved getting up early and getting the sunrise at the Atlantic Ocean Beach at Kitty Hawk in North Carolina last month. So beautiful to see the sunrise over the ocean in the Outer Banks of North Carolina.
That's awesome.
Absolutely. That is
really cool.
really great to especially do that like on a coast that faces east.
Anything with natural beauty is great though with sunrises. I mean, when we got married in Arizona, I was up every single day at sunrise leading up to our wedding.
Yeah.
Which was great. I got some great shots because of that.
Yep.
And I got to experience the most out of my days leading up to marrying her. And it was lovely.
It was.
Then on our honeymoon, I was up at sunrise every single
day.
He
was up at sunrise.
Because I wanted to take advantage of the honeymoon with you.
He got some really good pictures at the Rio de la Plata in Uruguay and Buenos Aires.
Yep.
at sunrise.
Great. So yeah, no, I love sunrise.
Okay, well, speaking of your pictures, Derek's also working on a project in quarantine.
Yeah, I'm working on a project. It still has a little bit to go. So I'm working on a website for photography stuff. Thinking about putting something up where you can if somebody wanted to order prints or something like that, they could. So we still have to see. I need to see how what the quality looks like and everything. But that's kind of what I'm working on the side is setting that up. So
Yeah, which is really cool I mean, he's learning how it all works and getting a lot of photographs ready. Also, I guess, because you guys are in our close inner circle, if there's any of his photographs that you all like a lot and would want that kind of thing, those images to be available, let us know. So that way, it's kind of like giving us some market feedback of which ones are people's favorites.
So we'll see. Right now, because I typically shoot a lot of, portrait, not portraits, but landscapes in portrait mode, in terms of, they're vertical, not horizontal, for Instagram, because that's what how I'm putting my photos out there. It's a little bit different than your typical landscapes, so we'll have to see kind of how that all plays out.
Yeah, but he has some cool ones of even cityscapes of, the big double-decker buses in London and everything. Yeah. So we're excited for when that can actually go live, but we're giving you guys the hot goss.
Nice. So I've been working on that, and I think I've got probably a day or two still left of work to do on that. I'm not really much of a, website design type person, so just trying to figure it all out and make it look nice. We'll see. Yeah, so that's what I've been doing. That, and I've also been editing a bunch of shots from the UK, from Scotland and London and stuff, so that I can put them on the website. Also, then post them on Instagram too. So
absolutely. So that's really what we've been doing for the most part in quarantine is creative projects. So me doing a lot of the video editing, Derek working on that project, and then cooking. So that's kept us really busy. And it's funny because we're we actually haven't really checked in with anybody because we've just been so busy and so tired. But I think this week it's going to be a little bit better. Nick P says, the best place I saw in Europe for the sunrise was when I was on the ship from England to the Netherlands last year. Oh, cool. Beautiful seeing the sunrise over the English Channel.
Oh, very cool.
Well, we are right by the English Channel. We'll see if it's beautiful over here, too. Can't speak to it yet, but hopefully.
And Gareth had mentioned Whitby, and Scorpio Sue is saying that that's a great suggestion, and that the graveyard is hauntingly atmospheric.
Cool.
So,
I wonder if we could go to the graveyard in Harry Potter, too, where they filmed that.
Sure.
I don't know if there's any Harry Potter fans out there, but I think that'd be kind of a fun October activity is to go to some of those film sites. Bonnie says, you had enough time to make scrumpy while you were in quarantine. I wish. Not really, because scrumpy is a little strong. But we are drinking some ciders. This is a Thatcher's Gold. It's only 4.8% alcohol by volume. I believe scrumpy is closer to 10 plus percent. It's the strong cider here that's made with all the leftover apples. Yeah.
I don't know. This Thatcher's Gold is going down smooth.
Yeah,
it's
this is
so
really
easy
good.
to drink. It's yummy.
I really prefer. So another popular cider here is called Strongbow, and Strongbow got the brand itself got bought by Heineken, and then they launched a cider in the U.S. named Strongbow with the same packaging, but it's actually a completely different taste because Americans like things slightly sweeter, so the cider is sweeter. So I'm looking forward to being able to drink a real, authentic Strongbow once we're out of quarantine too.
Yeah. And hopefully we make it to Northern Ireland and I assume you can get a Guinness there. That'd be fun.
Yep. Well, you could probably get a Guinness here too.
Yeah, but I want to get closer to the source.
Right. I'm pretty sure Guinness is like sold in every country, right? Like that's their claim to fame.
What?
It's all over the world.
Yeah. My goodness. I don't know. Troy is saying the Great Hall in Harry Potter was filmed in Oxford, and Oxford is a nice place to visit.
Yeah. We didn't get to go into the Great Hall building in Oxford, but I have been twice. Once? I can't remember. I know we went together.
So it would have been twice.
Yeah.
I know you went once without me.
Yeah, I think so. I think I went once with my study abroad friends, and then once with him. It was really, really cool town.
You also went to Cambridge, right? You spent some time there.
I bet actually Oxford and Cambridge right now are a little bit easier to be tourists in than they were back then, because based on my recollection, Oxford was a lot of international tourists, such as myself. Like, you could really feel how many international folks were there. And now that there's a lot fewer of us, there might be a little bit more room. Ooh, there's like a little gnat in here. We have the windows
open. As long
open.
as it's not a midge.
Oh, jeez.
The midges.
We
when
were
I was
warned.
when we were watching the videos on the North Coast 500 of Scotland, people kept talking about midges. And that's the one thing I will say is if we do go in like October, November, likely not to be any midges. So you won't get eaten alive.
I don't know. I feel like it's going to be freezing.
Get over it.
Oh, man.
But yeah, so, when you think about like our quarantine though, I think that it's been like pretty smooth and nice. That was like really the bonus to having to quarantine was that, we weren't like trying to like, get out and see things immediately or anything. So we had this really cool thing where, we got to enjoy the flight and like have a few drinks and like all that kind of stuff on the plane, which is what I really enjoyed to do. I know she still didn't. I think you went to sleep pretty early, but
I tried to
it was
sleep.
kind of nice.
I watched the flight map and tried to sleep.
I watched the first 2 episodes of The Morning Show, which is like the Apple TV thing with Jennifer Aniston and Steve Carell and all those
Reese
guys.
Witherspoon's in it too.
Reese Witherspoon. And
I'm gonna go get
I liked it, but they only had the first 2 episodes, which was really upsetting for me. Oh well. Mo is saying, no such thing as bad weather, just bad preparation. You tell her, Mo. Because I kind of agree. Nick P is asking if we've gotten some authentic Cadbury chocolate.
So I thought I would bring over what we do have. Okay, so this is what we got from our avocado order. We got Galaxy Minstrels. I think it's just chocolate-filled chocolate. And then whatever these are. So let's try
them.
We've never tried these before. So
it's kind of scary.
They smell like fruit snacks.
It's kind of
like a strawberry
Isn't
fruit
that kind
snack?
of frightening? That looks like something out of like a horror movie.
It smells like fruit snacks, sugar, and oh my, this is chewy.
It's like a fruit snack.
They're all the same flavor though. In the U.S., we're used to having like a mixed variety of fruit snacks in a pack. All right, has anybody else tried these before?
Yeah.
Is this actually, we should ask like Gareth and everyone. Are these like normal things that everybody's had in the UK? Or were they random?
Or are these just things that have been foisted upon us?
Gareth says he used to eat those Percy pigs in his old job.
Okay, and then here's the chocolatey thing.
The minstrels are nice, but I prefer counters, which are basically minstrels without the shell casing. These look like big M&Ms.
They're big M&Ms. Yeah.
Yeah, they're big M&Ms.
Hey,
Probably
M&Ms.
with better chocolate.
M&Ms, you could learn something. Bigger.
And they're all brown. So.
It was awesome.
Hopefully that was really entertaining for everybody. Now we're just going to be eating chocolate.
Now we're just eating chocolate.
Let me put this over
Welcome
here.
to our new channel, Eating Chocolate.
Eating chocolate with Eliz and Derek.
Yum.
It's like 10 a.m. over in the U.S.
God, I haven't had chocolate in so long.
I know, right?
That's so good. Oh, man. Guys.
So remember that we were doing this crazy diet for like weeks before we came to the U.S.
Whew.
Or sorry, before we came to the U.K. Did you eat? You ate a piece of that like mousse chocolate pie on the plane, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, this is significantly tastier.
Mm-hmm.
But
Damn.
yeah, you don't really eat a lot of chocolate.
Woo!
Okay, hopefully you guys are laughing with us. So yeah, that was delicious. Probably better than Hershey's or, Mars M&Ms. And yeah, now we're gonna wash it down with cider.
It's gonna be a weird flavor profile.
Maybe like once a month we'll buy like a new candy for us to try live. See
Ooh,
what happens.
Wait, yeah, we're gonna need to get that one that Gal and the Gals that Trace loves.
Oh yeah, but we'll have to actually eat it when she's on because they already had to leave.
Oh. Dang, guys.
But maybe we'll get Cadbury next time. We have had Cadbury before, and there's Cadbury. You can kind of track it down in the U.S. as well.
Yeah. Okay, so check the Met office
Mo
for
says
weather.
the key to his heart is Cadbury and Kinder. I used to actually do the advertising for I was on the advertising team for Kinder in the U.S. when it launched in the U.S. And their chocolate quality is really good.
Okay, but we have a thing up here. So Mo was saying, no such thing as bad weather, just bad preparation. Thanks, Mo. And Thomas Reiser is telling us to check the Met office for weather. I don't know what the Met office is, but we'll check that out.
BBC weather. We've been really enjoying watching BBC's news programming. We watched
BBC One.
Yes, because there are multiple channels, aren't there? We watched a show this morning called Politics Midlands, I believe is what it was called. And one before that was kind of like a news host talk show sort of thing. And it's been really interesting to just note the differences between political reporting and just the media here and how things are presented versus in the U.S.
So Paul Tipton is telling us that the pig snacks are for little kids, but enjoy.
Thank you.
You know what? We're all little kids at heart, Paul.
Well, we can't go to the pub, so we've regressed.
We're on lockdown over here, so we're pretty close to finger painting. So I don't know. It's So Troy is telling us that the Skirrid Mountain Inn in Wales is over 900 years old. It is still in operation today as an inn and pub. Every night they still set out the Devil's Brew. Many claim it is haunted with 400 plus hung there. Holy crap. That's a lot of people that have been hung there.
Wow, that's scary. I really like touring the Tower of London and always recommend it to people as my top tourist destination choice in London. But when you actually learn about the history, if you're not really that into negative things, you probably shouldn't go to the Tower of London. That kind of reminds me of that.
So yeah, and that's where they chopped off her head.
Yeah, it's there was a lot of beheadings. There was a lot of scary imprisonments. But there's the crown jewels. It's really cool to just hear all that lore though. And then traveling with McPhee. Hershey's makes Cadbury here in the U.S. under a license from Cadbury UK. Not the same, but it's close. Yeah. You're right. I think I did remember reading that.
Do you like Scorpio Sue saying, bring back Cadbury milk tray for the family. You'll be a huge hit for the holidays. We might. So one of the things that we did, and one of the videos that we plan to film this week, either to launch this week or next week, would be our packing videos. So we're thinking about doing a video on kind of what she packed in terms of her clothes and suitcase, and then also one for me, as well as kind of our carry-ons, like what we do there, just to kind of share that with people on, how to think about packing. Because, we did this trip. We're going to be here hopefully for 2.5 to 3 months with just one check bag each. And we really didn't have a lot of carry-on capacity because of all the gear that we have when we, for all of our filming and all that kind of stuff. So for us, it was very much all your clothes basically has to fit in your luggage, your checked piece
Your
of
one
luggage.
suitcase, yeah.
But because of our tickets, we actually are entitled to 2 check bags each. So the whole thing being that for a lot of the trip, we'll be traveling in a car. So there's certain things like hiking boots or whatever that we will buy here, or if we need to buy a bigger coat for some reason or whatever, we can do that here. And then we might just get like a cheap bag that we can then check back when we go back. And we can put everything that we buy into that. So we might have a lot of room for like Cadbury milk trays.
We'll see.
So
we shall see. And then you can buy those, I think, at the airport too, at duty free.
Yep.
So we don't even have to lug it around too long.
Yeah. So we shall see.
Yeah.
And quick question for
so
all
far,
of you.
what we brought though has been fine, like clothing wise and stuff. We haven't.
Oh yeah, no.
There hasn't been anything like, shoot.
I think we'll be fine with the exception of if it does get truly cold, maybe we need more cold weather stuff. But as long as it stays relatively temperate, which it typically does stay relatively temperate, we should be fine.
Yep.
So, because even up north for the North Coast 500, the water, because we're coming off of summer, the water is still warmer, which helps moderate some of the temperatures, which is nice.
And Sue says Amazon has great collapsible bags that are check-in worthy. That's good to know.
Oh, nice.
Because what's unfortunate is, as many of you know, we moved out of our house in Chicago, then we went to Indiana for a while before coming here. And somewhere in that move-out process, I thought that I had taken my collapsible tote bag with us to Indiana, and we could not track it down. So it's definitely in our storage unit. And so we hope. It's probably there. And so I'm
Did you check the box we brought back from the storage unit? Was it hanging out the ear?
It's not there.
Okay.
I think I know exactly where it is in the storage unit. Anyway, so we are going to have to get probably a very affordable one since we already have one. We don't want to really invest.
Yeah.
My mom says, have you heard about passing yeah, of course. Yeah. It's definitely hot topic in American news, isn't it?
Yeah, so.
But they're not talking about it here.
No, there was an article on the BBC about it.
Online?
Yeah, the day it.
Yeah, but they weren't talking about on the news this morning or anything.
No. But yeah, no, that's sad that she passed and stuff.
Yeah.
She.
But I definitely don't want to jump into politics.
Yeah, we're definitely.
I was the only comment I was making, and apologies for even bringing it up, is that it's definitely a different way of presenting the news.
Yep. So the big topic on the news here seems to be about lockdown, right? That's the big thing about that everybody's talking about right now. I think Boris Johnson, is hesitant. He seems to be saying he's hesitant, but he is also kind of saying things like, but we might have to. So, we'll see what happens with the lockdown. Kim M is saying, I went to the Tower of London just before lockdown, and it was amazing to see everything without so many people. Oh, that's really cool.
That is really cool.
That's kind of neat. We went to the Anne Frank house right before lockdown,
Right before
and there was still
Americans
a ton of people.
had to return from Europe. So it wasn't before lockdown necessarily, because we didn't really have a consistent lockdown like the UK had.
But I'm talking about for Amsterdam. I think that when we got called back, basically, because the U.S. was going to lock down, I think things went in even more
I guess you're right.
Things were starting to be a little bit more locked down there while we were there.
But it was definitely still crowded.
It was super crowded.
And we went to the
Not
Anne
possible
Frank house,
social
I believe it was
distance.
March 9th or 10th. Then Kim says, oh yeah, so she went to the Tower of London. And I think the Tower of London, like I was saying before, is just the coolest place to visit.
So Paul Tipton, who says, I have no idea who the notorious RBG is. That was a bad play on. Okay, so RBG is Ruth Bader Ginsburg. She was one of the Supreme Court justices, second woman Supreme Court justice. She was also, integral in a lot of like women's rights movements in the 60s, 70s. They made a movie about her. It was actually pretty good.
But she definitely leaned towards one American political party, which is why it's just a very hot topic. And there's been some ramifications in the U.S. surrounding her death and stuff like that.
Yep.
That being said, that's our hopefully nonpartisan summary, and we certainly don't like talking about politics on this channel because it's an escapism for a lot of people. We always talk about travel, so we can move on.
Yep. I do like thinking of her as like kind of like Biggie though, like the Notorious B.I.G.
Talking about this,
but no, that was entertaining. Notorious B.I.G. It was awesome. Biggie, Biggie, Biggie. Can't you?
Yeah,
see?
you can talk about '90s hip hop if you want.
Okay, cool. Tupac, liked him too.
Right.
Okay, so what else? What else we got?
All right. So moving on. We can talk a little bit more about our experience flying. We can answer questions for you guys about UK daily life. If anybody else has questions about what we're up to and
so Nick P is asking about the Anne Frank house. So he says that it was very moving. We were able to see the whole museum, and he was surprised he didn't have any issues with the clearances there, and he misses the stroopwafels in Amsterdam. So the fun thing there, Nick, I know you're super tall, but in Amsterdam, the people are the tallest in the world, right? I think on average or something like that. So they tend to make things like the stairwells, if you remember, those stairs are pretty steep, kind of like they are here, right? So you don't have like the clearance issues because of how quickly it goes vertical. We were able to see the whole museum. We spent quite a bit of time in there, like our whole allotment or whatever, and it was, it was definitely moving. It was kind of crazy to see. So, especially seeing like, we think of things like isolation and all that kind of stuff, but it's like the things that they lived through, and like that was so much more isolating than what we have to deal with. So it's a very strong and moving place to visit, and anybody who goes to Amsterdam, I would highly recommend it. Maybe not during the global pandemic, but otherwise it's a must see thing. So.
Yeah, I cried.
Yeah.
There was an announcement from Eurostar probably like a month or two ago that they just opened a direct train from London to Amsterdam. Before you had to transfer if you were doing the train, but now you can just go directly. And so I think they're hoping that once things get a little bit safer for travel, that there's going to be a lot more tourism in between those two cities.
Yep. So Scorpio Sue says, the Tower of London is amazing, probably my top place to visit in London. I love the whole Southwark area.
Suffolk.
Okay. Suffolk area. V&A Museum is great. Ooh, scratching my back. Oh yeah, okay. Hampton Court is also a favorite. So yeah, Tower of London is definitely like your favorite place to take people.
I've actually never been to the Victoria and Albert Museum. And I have never been to Hampton Court. I think those are literally the two places that I have.
Two major attractions.
That's not true. I went to Hampton Court 2 years ago, in 2018, for the first time.
I think I missed that day.
Yeah, you missed that day. And I really, really wanted to go because I hadn't been. It was really pretty.
Yeah, no, so...
I was thinking of Kew Gardens when I was saying that I hadn't been to that. So I've not been to Kew Gardens or Victoria and Albert.
Yeah.
But yeah, the whole Southwark area is really stunning. We took photos all up and down the boardwalk right south of the Thames there last November on our anniversary. And it was so much fun to do that and then go straight to our anniversary dinner.
Mm-hmm. So the other thing about London that's really cool that they did this week is their first ever street art festival that they're doing. So one of the things is that because people can't go into galleries right now, there's a lot of that stuff is like shut down and whatnot. They have brought their first London street art where they're bringing in a bunch of muralists to basically create these new works all over London. And I'm really excited to hopefully get there in a couple weeks so we can see all those things, because that would be awesome. Because I love street art, I love murals. I think that they really bring a lot of color and vibrancy to communities. So it'd be really neat to go and like check those out, which would be pretty dope.
Mo asks, have we been to any football, aka soccer, games or stadiums in the UK or Europe before?
Nope.
Yes, neither of us have been. So when my friends
I've watched matches in bars and pubs.
When my friends all went, when I studied abroad, they had tickets for the day after my 21st birthday, so I regretfully did not make it. But they all went to a Chelsea game.
You were hungover.
I was.
Yeah.
So neither of us have been. I don't. We were watching that news programming this morning on BBC, and they were talking about football and the return of football, and everybody's missing it. So.
Well, they were also talking about that the UK, and again, we'll see what happens, but that they're doing like a new scheme to bring in some fans, where they're going to limit the capacity to like 1,000 attendees or something like that in stadiums. So it does look like they're trying to bring back the crowds a little bit here for the Premier League. So that'll be interesting to see how that works out.
Derek's dad is a huge Barca fan and a huge Messi fan, and he was like, well, Messi, there's a moment in time while we were there in Indiana a few weeks ago that Messi was like, well, maybe I'll go play in Manchester, and we were like, oh man, we're gonna have to actually
But to play for Man City, right?
Man City, yeah.
Which is my dad's favorite Premier League team. So, all right. So Klaus says, one good thing about traveling during the pandemic is you get the big sights to yourselves. I tried that in Iceland and Pompeii. It's sad for the ones who live from tourism. Yeah, so it's kind of this bittersweet thing where, if you can go and you feel safe doing so, you can really get, slightly unparalleled, experience in terms of a lot less people, a lot less crowded, a lot more personalized, which is nice. But for the people who, yes, make their livings off of tourism, it's a very sad time. So that is sad. And Eric Brown is saying, can't you see sometimes your words just hypnotize me?
Biggie, biggie, biggie.
Can't you see? Love that song. Thomas just posted some pictures he took today. We'll have to go check those out.
Yeah, nice.
And Eric Brown is saying, in February I had several Brits who talked American politics with me, so I think they actually know a good bit. That's good.
Yeah. And then I already said what Mo said, and then Nick is saying he cried at the Anne Frank Museum as well. It's so tragic. And then he said same at the Columbine Memorial in Littleton, Colorado last month. Yeah, we haven't been to that. I'm sure it's very moving too.
Yeah, and one thing that I will say about what Eric was saying about like politics and stuff, not to touch about politics at all, but to just talk about what you're talking about with the news, and that you really enjoy watching the news here because you feel like there's an assumption of really people being like informed and up to date on things. So there's not like a dumbing down of the news or anything that takes place here. So you get to kind of get a little bit more substance quicker.
That was kind of my comment
nice.
That I spoke to Derek this morning after watching the news programming here for several days in a row. Is like, I really appreciate that they are just diving in and talking about all of the economic ramifications of like the virus and whatever the topic at hand is, with the assumption that everybody understands what the terminology means and stuff like that. And it's noticeable of a change compared to some of the U.S. programming, and it's more about what I was trying to comment on earlier, is that the presentation of the information just feels a little bit more sophisticated.
Yeah. So Mo had asked about the whole football game and stuff, but Nick P says that he had a chance last year but skipped it to go to the Jack the Ripper tour in London, which is pretty funny. I don't know. I'd probably like the Jack the Ripper tour. That'd be kind of creepy, and fun. But Mo did the Manchester United Stadium tour, Old Trafford in 2018, and liked it.
Cool.
We really want to do the one place that we definitely want to do is we want to go to the Ajax Stadium in Amsterdam, because
Bye, Sue. Thanks for joining.
Thanks, Sue. Her grandfather, her great grandfather played for the IX, so we feel like going and doing this like stadium tour there would be pretty cool.
But I'm pretty sure he just like played in Vondel Park. I don't think. I mean, he never played in a stadium or anything like that.
So Gareth is asking, why did we choose Pompey, which is what the locals call Portsmouth? We did not address that earlier.
We're going to make a video that goes into a little bit more detail on all of the reasons why we chose the Airbnb and like what we were looking for in an Airbnb. I believe that video is actually going to come out tomorrow, so definitely watch that. But just, I guess,
but we can go
quick reason is like it was budget friendly. So this particular accommodation was really like affordable and stuff like that for what we get. And then we also were looking at the location. We were looking at the amount of space that we got, including outdoor space, and the amenities. So we kind of go into a lot of that in this upcoming video, I think. So stay tuned. But we like it here a lot.
But what I would say, Gareth, is that we were less focused on Portsmouth. It wasn't like we were like, oh, Portsmouth is where we definitely want to go, and then we picked something in Portsmouth. That wasn't kind of like why we came here. It was more around, we had a number of criteria that we were looking at, and we were open to a number of different locations and geographies.
We were looking at Edinburgh.
Well, we were initially looking at Bristol.
That's true.
And then Edinburgh, and then different places. But a number of the places we were looking at, got snatched up, and we weren't available anymore. And so then we found this place, and we're like, well, Portsmouth makes sense from like a geographic location because it's a real city. It has access to restaurants, bars, grocery delivery, all that stuff. But it also
bye, Eric. Enjoy the NFL game.
Bye, Eric. But it also has things around it that we haven't seen and explored and done that we want to.
Yeah.
So we can actually enjoy ourselves post quarantine.
I've been to Brighton and really enjoyed that. Derek has not been, and so that's probably one of the day trips that we'll do pretty early after we're out of quarantine. After we've explored Portsmouth.
Yeah. So it's, doing Portsmouth, it's doing London, it's, getting up to Bath and Bristol actually are not too far away. There's a lot of things that you can do and see around here, and especially once we have the car rental, that'll actually open up a lot of opportunity for us to get out and explore, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, it was fun to, on our drive from Heathrow to here, to see all of, we pretty much passed right through South Downs Park and saw like it was just starting to change colors on the leaves and everything like that. So it'd be pretty neat to be able to go when we're out of quarantine, and hopefully fall will have or autumn will have exploded by then. So that's pretty much the gist of why we chose it.
Yeah. And we do like that. Our first we'll be able to explore hopefully the south of England. Right out of the gate where it's hopefully not too cold down here, and we can kind of do the things like go to the beach and stuff and walk around and not be just frigidly cold. So
Mo says he brought his IX shirt to the Netherlands, and when he was in Rotterdam they had a big Feyenoord store in Central Station. Good thing I didn't wear it there or else. Yeah. You never want to wear the rival team's soccer gear, whatever, hat, shirt, anything.
So
when you're in the other city.
Your Ruth's asking a great question, which is there enough parking around the row house?
Parking costs money each day.
Yeah, so it's like £2 a day, something like that.
Yeah.
So we'll have to pay for it, and
it'll be parallel parking.
Not a good parallel parker.
I mean, you're not a good parallel parker when it's the one side of the street and you're on the other side of the car. So I don't know what it's gonna be like. Although maybe because you're left-handed, maybe all of a sudden you'll be really good at it.
Probably not. We'll see. I don't know.
One of us will get out of the car and help the other person parallel park.
So, but yeah, no, I think there hopefully should be enough parking. It's not like, we'll necessarily be driving every single day while we're here.
And honestly, we don't know because we haven't been out of our house. So it seems like there's cars parked outside all the time. So hopefully there's empty spots.
Yeah, we will see. So, what else did we want to talk about?
I mean, I think that's kind of it. It seems like you guys have had some really great questions come up, and hopefully we've been able to answer them. And if there's any other questions that you have, feel free to jump in with them at this point, because we're probably going to start wrapping up soon and start prepping some dinner.
Yeah, probably. Bonnie, brunch time. Enjoy. Have a good one.
Thanks, Bonnie, for joining.
Have a drink on us. And Thomas Reiser, the leaves are barely starting to change there, so not quite autumn yet. But yeah, no, I am a little jealous right now because it's in Chicago. We call it the henge every year, so this is like the time when like the sun sets on the grid. So you can get these like phenomenal photos of the sun setting like down like the streets and whatnot.
Hey, Eric Swart, welcome.
Really jealous. Eric, welcome. How you doing,
Thanks
bud?
for joining. I know it's like you're in Europe, so it's really fun that you're able to join at the new time. So we were just kind of actually, unfortunately, wrapping up. Jim, I didn't even know you were on, but thank you so much for joining. And we're going to be posting, new video every single day in this coming week. And if you have any questions that come up, feel free to message us or ask them next Sunday. So we're going to have another live stream next Sunday, same time. Hopefully this time all worked for everybody.
Yeah. And Eric, actually, I got a question for you. Have the leaves started to change out by you yet? Like, is fall coming yet, or is it still autumn? Or is, everything still, like, leafy green and whatnot? I know you're a little bit south of where we are.
Yeah, I think he's in Austria.
So it might still be green, but I was just kind of curious because I will say that the leaves changing in like Germany were phenomenal when I saw those last year. So I'm hopeful that things get nice over here too.
Yeah. So he's saying yes, they have started to change.
Nice.
So we're very much mostly green. We're very much looking forward to experiencing autumn here full on. And hopefully you guys can come along with us as we do that.
Yeah. And thank you very much for the new video, or for the,
for the
saying that it was nice.
On the new videos.
We like putting them out, and hopefully you guys are liking them too.
Yeah, and if you like this live stream or the videos, we always appreciate your likes and subscriptions. And we just really appreciate having you guys tune in today for this live. We're going to be back on next Sunday. Hopefully you guys can join then as well.
Yep. And in the meantime, if anybody has any ideas for like nice videos that you'd like to see, or things you'd like us to put out on YouTube as topics, please shoot them our way, because we're always looking for new ideas and whatnot, so we can give you guys what you want.
Yeah, give the people what they want. But yeah, so we're definitely going to be coming out with one about why we chose our Airbnb coming up really soon.
Yep. We've already filmed it.
We're trying to figure out a few on packing, just to help you guys for any future trips. And
I'm thinking we're going to do a redo of her best performing video ever, which is the long haul flight essentials video.
Yeah,
and we're
it needs an update.
Long haul flight essentials pandemic edition.
Yeah.
Because there's definitely some things to think about, especially as it relates to masks and stuff. So.
Totally. But thank you all for watching the videos that you have this week. It means a lot, and it really helped the channel. I'm not gonna lie, like, we've seen significant growth, and all of your support has been paramount for that. So thank you, everybody.
So
all right.
Thanks
Cheers,
for joining.
everybody, and happy travels from the UK.
And we will see you next week.
See you next week, and hopefully in between then as well on social media and YouTube. Bye.
Bye.